I'm Laurel, and I'm here with my third run of my 5 days project. It is an exciting project where I made a list of many things, and I'm going to do a different one every 5 days. And I'm going to tweet about it and do videos about it. And the tasks are magically picked for me by the universe out of the list in a random magical fashion. So the video that I'm doing here is the fourth 5 days that I had to do, which was stop procrastinating. And in fact, if I hadn't picked stop procrastinating, you wouldn't even be seeing this video, because when I got that, I still hadn't gotten around to doing any of my videos. I hadn't done the first one yet, and if I, really what I had to face was the fact that the only thing stopping me from starting the video aspect of this project was the oppressive force of procrastination. No other reason, not my talent, not my desire. It's just pure procrastination, like just, I can do other things. So, I had to start the videos, and now you are watching a video. And it's in the works. It's really exciting. The one for my third 5 days, which was try to love Miley Cyrus as best I can, is still in mid-production. So hold your horses for that one. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So back to, stopping procrastination. During those 5 days, my friends definitely backed off. All of a sudden I was like, guys, I have to stop procrastinating. And they were just, they're like, oh, okay. Instead of like sitting around and smoking pot or just talking about stuff or dilly-dallying, I'm like, I really got to get back to not procrastinating. So sorry, guys. And they were really good. And it became an excellent opportunity to say no to stuff. Hey, do you want to go across the street? I was like, I can't. I got to stop procrastinating. No to both, others and yourself. And that's actually a really crucial point. Saying no to yourself is what you're going to have to do if you want to stop procrastinating, because the greatest enabler, the number one enabler to procrastination is distraction. Distraction is the only thing, really. And if you eliminate all distractions, don't watch TV, don't dilly-dally on the computer, don't talk too long with your friends or roommates forever, don't overdote on your cat, stuff like that, stuff you don't really need to do. Remove all distractions. Then all of a sudden you have a lot of free time. Usually what ends up filling that free time is serving your basic needs, like cooking food, taking the trash out, washing those dishes. It's almost the number one thing you do. But, you gotta, if you really need to get around to doing stuff, you have to set some of those things aside. So remove distractions. Let's just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Cover your basic needs as best you can in the moment. And then really, you're only left with 2 other options as to what to do with your time. Number 1, get around to doing the stuff that you're avoiding. Number 2, new ambitions. Don't do the new ambitions until you're done doing things that you have to do. And in fact, you can put the new ambitions as a reward list, later on. We'll talk about that. A good example would be I really want to learn my camera better. Now, unless it's crucial, it is not a priority, and you should be doing something that you're avoiding. So essentially, there's 3 arenas where the evil demon of distraction likes to lurk in. And they are starting, doing, and finishing. And starting is by far the hardest, because you're just going to get stumped on that. That's what procrastination is. It is not starting something or starting it up again, because that's where we come to doing. You're doing. Before you know it, you're distracted. And then you stop, and then you're just going to have to start again. Number 3, finishing. And how often is it that the hardest part of doing something will be at the very end? Because, sewing for me is a great example of this. Sewing, and it's you get to plan it out and cut out the parts and the fabric and sew, and then you get into more detailed sewing. Then you get into the hem, and then the buttons, and then the zipper, and then pretty much every fucking pain in the ass thing you could do while finishing. And You might never finish. I've ever like had a dress that I made. It had a crappy zipper, and then it took a whole decade before I like replaced it with the better zipper that worked. I procrastinated that long. Anyways, and that's why mending clothes was a part of the 5 days project. And in fact, this video is going to include 4 5-day projects. They are: stop procrastinating, quit TV, do something I've been avoiding, which was like getting started on my taxes. I made a tax appointment. And mend clothes that need mending. You know, this project itself is essentially just disciplining myself. Like the whole 5 days project is like an embodiment for not procrastinating. And like this video itself is essentially the manifesto of the 5 days project. And now, you know, let's stop procrastinating. Stop procrastinating. All right, now let's tackle the arenas where distraction comes in. Starting with starting. Now, the key to starting is prioritizing. And the key to prioritizing is making a list. Most time management experts suggest making a new list every day. I could say every other day, especially because I work with a to-do list notebook. I really like the ABC method, which is A column is urgent, you know, it needs to get done. B is it pretty much needs to get done. C is it can wait. And making a new list every day is great with the ABC method because eventually C's become A's. They really do. Let's all thank Alan Lakin of Get Control of Your Time and Your Life for all of his geniusness that I have learned. A really, really important thing about making a to-do list is make stepping stone tasks. Don't just write down finish, you know, fixing the plumbing in the bathroom, you know. Just put like, you know, go by the parts. You know, for every goal or thing you think you need to do, just write down the easiest stepping stone you can do. Because you can put more in, you know, as you cross them out. They could evolve. Let's say you really need to like do something with the pears in the fridge. You want to make a pie. You could just put cut the pears instead of just make the pie. You know what I'm saying? Do stepping stones. It's crucial. You can even put like, you know, finish plumbing in the bathroom as number C, but then go get parts as number A. Alright? Or in column A. Anyways, I also like to make, you know, effervescent sublists. And, you know, here's some good examples. Go into it. To-do list notebook. My ABC sublists. This is how it can look for you. There's all sorts of fun notes. I do little I Ching readings in there. And you can see this is what I'm at currently. Eventually this will all get filled in. Now, you know, getting around to doing things isn't easy every day. You know, if you're feeling kind of emo, look at your list, do your list. It's a really healthy thing to do. But then, you know, if you're not like up to par, you know, top of your game, just star all the easy tasks and the fun tasks and do those. Because I guarantee the next day, tomorrow, you're going to be feeling so good about all the shit you got done that you're going to be able to tackle those like more annoying, more difficult tasks. It's all true. You know, when you do your to-do list, obviously, then you're going to do the most important task first. And you're looking at your A list. You can usually suss out what you need to get done. But if you have, you know, 2 that you're kind of like, I don't know if I should do that or that, just flip a coin. And then if it's like 3 or 4, there's a couple methods for deciphering what to do first. A, you know, the most fun or least annoying. Just do that. Hey, get started. Here's a couple questions you could ask. What if I die tomorrow? What if I die tomorrow is a great one. Because then, you know, video project. finished video project, you're gonna feel motivated because you need to leave things for your loved ones as you've passed away. But on the total flip side, it's good to ask, what's going to make me more attractive and help me attract, people to like me? And it could be anyone. It could be just mates, not just mates, but friends, employers, even God or goddess. What's going to make you more attractive? And that'll get you to like deposit your check for all sorts of reasons. You're like, if you're a financially responsible person, pretty much everyone thinks that's attractive. At least in America. And finally, if you can't decide between 3 or 4, just, do anything. Go alphabetical order, whatever. Just start, because starting is always exciting. And that, really leads into our next topic, which is doing. Now, as long as you're, not doing unnecessary basic need meeting, attending to, and, avoiding all distractions, starting a task should be enough motivation to really get you going. You'll be so excited that you're actually doing it. You're like, yes, I'll keep doing it. But, willingness and focus and motivation does not come in a box on the shelf that you can buy. I know ADD medication is supposed to help for that, but you can choose to focus on anything. Motivation and willingness. That's, maybe you can buy focus, but... So if starting isn't enough, and the, evil demon of distraction lurks in, again, ask yourself some questions as you start to get distracted. Okay, what if I die tomorrow? Really? Or what's going to make me more attractive? Just bring it back to that. It'll keep you going. Or perhaps make the task simpler. A lot of times we make things way harder than they actually should be. For example, my studio mate, he was looking for his checkbook because he needs to pay his roommate the rent. And then he was like, I think she has PayPal. And I was like, and you have PayPal? And he realized he could just PayPal her the money. And it's in no rush. It's like, it's more of a pain in the ass to go to the bank anyways. It's funny how many obstacles we'll put in front of our goal. Think about that. So make it more simple. Another way to keep doing is use time as a tool. I love this method. So set the alarm clock for 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, if you stayed working the entire time, then give yourself a 5 to 10 minute break. You deserve it. Or if at the end of 30 minutes you ended up being distracted, then you have to keep working. And you're like, oh shit, I'm not working on the thing I said I was going to work on. Go back to it. And it's essentially, you get rewarded if you do it, punished if you don't by you have to stop distracting yourself. And that'll keep you going. Half hour. I also got the Get Shit Done app for my phone, and it's pretty useful. It asks you to pick a goal, you put it into sub-goals, there's a time limit that you can set, there's consequence if you don't get it done, and there's a reward, and it kind of reminds you as you go along. It has built-in breaks, you can pause the timer, and you can add it overtime. Essentially, it's like having a sports trainer or a coach. And Get Done app is actually really also good for finishing. Because, here you are, you've started, you're going, but now you need to finish. The Get Shit Done is really, that app is really good because it has rewards built in. And I really think rewards are the way. Because if you just remind yourself of the reward, then you just might get the shit done. Obviously, dabbling in those new ambitions you set aside because you're not allowed to do them while you have shit you have to get done, you can squeeze those in as a reward. Or, of course, the distractions that you set aside. Make those things rewards instead of making them make you procrastinate. Now let's do some fantasizing for a second. Let's imagine for a second the joys and high that you're going to get from actually completing a task. It's very similar to how good it feels when you finally start a task and you start doing it. As you're going at it, it's very similar to the high that you get from an orgasm, honestly. Finishing a task, you feel great, man. It's great. Just fantasize about that for a second. And speaking of orgasms, that could also be a great reward. It's most likely one of the things that you set aside as a distraction. And lastly, and I don't think you're ever going to read this anywhere because I think I thought of it, bribe yourself. Now, most of us out there have something that we want to buy or something that we want to spend money on. Again, this is America. Figure out what that thing is and how much it costs, and then find a trusted friend. You might want to write this little thing down with them in case they're not 100% trustworthy. But give that friend the money for the thing and say that I need to get this thing done, and you're going to have to show them proof that it's done. And you're like, give me the money back when it's done. And actually, that's almost motivation enough. Just knowing that your friend has your money and they might forget all about it, which is why you might want to write it down if they're not 100% trustworthy. But essentially, bribing yourself is, you'll get that shit done. You actually will. Trust me. You will. And, that's pretty much the best advice I can give you for now about how to stop procrastinating, as much as I'm willing to leak to the public. Because I do know of other ways to stop procrastinating. The time has not yet come. But I will, however, as we travel along this journey, reveal the secrets of intuitive time management to you when we are all ready. And that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot. Good luck. This was my For 5 Days project. You can find it hashtag on Twitter for 5 days. And I'm Miss Dominica K. And hugs.